I've been studying acting my entire adult life. This is demeaning. And the suit smells like chicken broth. Do you ever wash this thing? Oh, we're rolling. Okay. Hey, kiddies! It's your old friend Surfy, the Surf Shark. Surf Shark. And I'm here to tell you about Surf Shark. It's a VPN that'll keep you safe from people that want to do bad, yucky stuff to you while you're surfing the waves of the internet. And I, Surfy, will personally take a bite out of crime. Are we allowed to use that? I, Surfy, will personally take a bite out of your digital footprint to make sure that people don't see it as good, so that people like the yucky pirates out there can't price gouge you while you're trying to shop on the internet based on where you're coming from. Also, if you want to properly swiggle around all over the internet and find things that you want to watch, well, guess what? You can do it by accessing geolocked content with Surfshark. You can watch Netflix from anywhere around the world as long as you're with Surfy, because I'll show you how to watch things good. You can't watch where you're at right now. That's a guarantee from me. And if you go to surfshark.com/4starbento and use the code 4starbento at checkout, you can get four free extra months of Surfshark services, and that's a Surfy guarantee. And that's me. I'm gonna hit the trail now. The old salty, briny trail. That's what sharks do. That it? All right, cut my check.
Welcome back to the couch, gents and dog, who is also a gentleman.
We're maybe calling this Bento box office now. That's the current
Ooh,
name of
that's
the
a
playlist.
fun one. I like that.
Yeah, Quinn came up with that one.
It's a good one. Good one, Quinn. Speaking of Quinn, I'm wearing the Tales Unwritten shirt here.
Yeah.
We each have our own relationship with Dungeons and Dragons. So what do you guys think about D&D?
I think they really fucked up the end of Game of Thrones.
It was not great. I'm glad they didn't get a Star Wars.
I really like the new movie with Chris Pine.
I think everyone who watched it does.
Yeah.
Needed more commercial success than it got, for sure.
Yeah. I think it really got success when it went to streaming, right?
Oh, absolutely. Like most things did. Craven the Hunter has been successful on streaming, so bear that in mind.
Has it been profitable?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
Probably not.
That's why we're rewatching Craven the Hunter right now.
We're watching it right now.
I would walk home, and I'm wearing my bad shoes.
Dungeons and Dragons. I really like Dungeons and Dragons. We have a Dungeons and Dragons show.
Yeah.
We do Dungeons and Dragons.
It's fun.
They won't let me eat the dice anymore, so that kind of sucks.
That's too
but trans people are repressed everywhere.
Feelings on the game, mostly positive.
Yeah,
feelings on Wizard of the Coast, mixed to negative.
Yeah. I didn't get into the game until probably sometime around 2010 or so. That's when I first started playing, was around 3.5 edition, 3.5e. Yeah, there's so much homebrew for 3.5, and I had a lot of fun getting into it. My buddy Shadow Dancer Bob was my first DM, and he let me build the most broken shit imaginable.
And then you set out to make broken characters for the rest of the time.
Not intentionally. I didn't try to make Karna broken at all. The stats just kind of rolled out where he was just very strong, and he's the first bard I ever played. So.
But weren't your characters also a little broken?
Oh God, that was also because of the dice. Zito wanted us to roll stats for TFS at the table, and I rolled Wake's stats out. They were far and away okay, I know I want to be a monk, but then I just rolled the best monk roll possible to get my stats the way they were. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna retire Wake for a bit. We're gonna travel with a different crew for a while. I somehow roll an even more broken character with Dagon. It's ridiculous.
Dungeons & Dragons, to me, because I'm not super into mythology or math or any of the traditional things that people get into. I don't know it extra. You know what I mean? I don't know the basics. So
Math.
if you combine them,
not
I
even
know
once.
even less. Yeah. And it's more about role playing to me. So people ask like, what characters are you playing and stuff, and I never know what to tell them. Recently, I actually know because of Mod, but before I'm like, I don't know if I think I'm a human, and I don't know anything else. But I love the as an actor, I just love the role playing aspect of it. And
Same.
That's I mean, you're one of my DMs, so you probably know I have a kind of a chaotic play nature because of that, because I'm just fully role play first and not thinking about anything else. I'm just like, what's the most interesting thing?
Your head goes empty real
Yeah,
fast.
playing with you, you don't have plans.
Yeah,
you just do.
I'm just like, what? I'm not thinking even one step ahead. I'm like, what is the next thing I'm doing?
Like with you, I just ask you, well, what do you want to do? And with Jesse, I'd be like, okay, I need to get Jesse to tell me his goal, and I'll try to help him figure out how he wants to achieve his goal. But I can't ask him what he's doing, because that will not happen.
What are you doing? Staring at my shoes.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know, man. Do any of us really know what we're doing?
And sometimes
Which was
I will
the question they asked in the year 2000 when Courtney Solomon directed Dungeons and Dragons. This was just after 3rd edition dropped.
I'm surprised it's a female director. I was expecting like.
Well, Courtney's not always a female name.
You know what? That's true.
Yeah,
I'm on the wrong side of history.
Yeah, starring Justin Whalen, Marlon Wayans, and Thora Birch. Surprisingly, Jeremy Irons not listed in the starring section, probably because he doesn't do a whole lot in this movie from what I remember.
God damn it.
It is in fact a man.
He's probably French. They always got them names, you know? They're like
That's Michelle you're thinking of.
Michel and Beth. It's like a man. I'm like, oh, cool.
Cool.
It's really transphobic talk from you.
It's really.
Be better, Jesse.
I'm so sorry. I apologize to the trans community.
On behalf of the trans community.
On behalf of the trans community, I apologize to the trans community.
So in lieu
I did change my heart.
In lieu of Tales Unwritten Book 2 dropping, let's go ahead and take a look at where Dungeons and Dragons came from towards where it is now.
The origin story.
This is the origin of the Dungeons and Dragons. Wait, she's riding a dragon now?
Cool.
What strategic
What's happening?
What strategic advantage does that give you to put you in the middle of the battle like
Yeah,
that?
that's crazy. Yeah, where the player's being like, what's happening? And the DM's like, I've been telling you the whole time.
Welcome back to the table. This table specifically, it's a little velveteen table.
We watched Dungeons & Dragons movie.
We did. It came out 1 year after The Phantom Menace. And does it show?
Yeah, it kind of feels like they saw the trailer while they were making it and were like, do that.
I think they watched nothing but Star Wars and
Star Wars and Indiana Jones, and that was their North Star for everything.
There were bits and pieces of things that you'd expect from Dungeons and Dragons in there. Like you saw orcs. There was an elf. There was a dwarf. There were dragons.
Their orcs looked a lot like goblins, but they
but
were there.
They were human sized, so they were orcs. I guess.
They're like little diminutive.
They definitely had scoliosis.
Yeah, like little hobbly,
Little hunchy.
hobbly guy.
But they weren't really like part of the plot anyway. They were just there at the I guess the Mos Eisley bar.
yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, that was their cantina scene. Like, it's one of those things where you can like note, this is where every Star Wars beat is.
Yeah, it is immensely Star Wars. It follows all of the adventure movie tropes.
They even straight up just took some of the Star Wars music, a little like sting that happens.
Yeah, every single sting I feel like was just like, okay, let's take a John Williams sting and then change it a little bit.
Yeah,
Just a little bit.
They literally loved the John Williams, like having a flute go.
Or when the bad guy shows up, dun 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 na 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 na.
Yeah.
It's legally distinct.
It's different,
So
so we can
good.
do it.
If you don't tell me which scroll it is, I'll have to kill you painfully.
I'm so glad we thought of
We're
that.
technically allowed.
We are allowed to do this.
They
and
can't stop us.
They were very much allowed to do whatever the hell they want, I feel. This came out pretty much the same year that 3rd edition launched. So this was part of, I guess, like a marketing like push Dungeons and Dragons still hadn't taken off at this point in time. Like, it was still very much a subculture. Not many people cared about 4th edition, but when 5th edition came out, streamlined a bunch of things, Critical Role adopted it, and boom. One of the biggest games on the planet now, one of the biggest licenses on the planet, and admittedly, it did eventually get a good movie.
That's true, but we're not talking about that movie.
We're not talking about that one. We're talking about Marlon Wayans, what's his name, boy?
Justin Whalen.
Whalen?
Justin Whalen,
Sure.
I believe.
And Jeremy Irons, who just eats in every scene.
Yeah, he was in parts of the movie.
He was in parts of it.
Kind of like a little bit in the beginning and a little bit in the middle.
He was there to
And then a
introduce
lot at the
us.
end.
He was there to introduce us to Darth Vader, and then fuck off until the very end.
And yeah, and in every scene at some point he was like,
Yeah, it felt like in every scene he was in, he was trying to bring up the energy, and that's appreciated.
Then is now not the time we should act. Then down with the tyrants.
Down with the tyrants!
I am not a crow.
Down with the tyrants! Up with the tyrants!
him and Marlon Wayans were just sort of like trying to carry the movie on their backs.
Yeah, Marlon Wayans, bless him, like it felt like they gave him kind of a Jar Jar role, but he was just so charming throughout that you kind of ignore it.
This is our big chance, huh? This is our big chance. Let's rob the magic school. This is our big chance.
The magic school!
Don't.
He was so good. He was the best part of the movie.
The little bits that felt like were him adding something
Yeah.
were some of the best little bits.
I'll say that he was the only person in the movie that acted like I feel like an actual player would act.
Yeah.
Like he would actually like go out, do stuff. He'd hit on an NPC.
Yeah.
Everybody else is just so like bog standard adventure character.
boring.
Yeah. No, I was saying during it that like whoever the main character is, he felt like a first time player where he's like taking it too seriously. He's like, I have to be cool and do
Yeah, he
cool
just
things
has main
and
character
everything.
syndrome.
Yeah. And then the other, Wayans is like, I've played 4 or 5 campaigns and I'm gonna be a goofy
I'm
little
gonna
guy.
be this goofy little guy that goes in, do stuff. I'm gonna antagonize everybody, and you know what? We're gonna have fun doing it. Ooh, that's a cute elf girl at the bar. I'm gonna go hit on her.
With crazy tit armor.
That when that armor got revealed, it never got unrevealed, man.
They all look alike to me.
Silence!
What's with all the races?
Okay,
Oh my god, that's the most ridiculous.
that's
fucking-
crazy. That is
I'm surprised they don't have a vagina plate.
It's
you know?
look, it's really, really cold.
It's so cold.
It was distracting the whole movie.
It was
and
always in center of the frame.
and this is where we cut to Jesse going every time it was on screen.
Show a bunch of clips of us reacting to the tit armor. I thought he was jerking off. Get the armor out of the fucking movie.
As are all
Don't interrupt me.
I don't want to look at this armor. Please take her off screen.
She's fucking Madonna-ing.
She's gonna hurt somebody.
Yeah. Boom. Just turns and knocks his eye out. A
Sorry,
force of some kind, like a field of force.
Let me see if my boobs can puncture it.
Yeah.
Because it was genuinely very distracting and how like just
So much.
uncomfortable, impractical, and just wild it was.
Very form-fitting. Like,
or form creating, depending on
Potentially.
because we have no idea.
we really don't.
The armor was
Which is
not
which
leaving
is
much to the
which is silly because
imagination.
like the first time that the elf tracker woman showed up, like she was plenty attractive. Like she did not need the boobily armor.
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know what the motivation for it was, other than like it's a broad armor. You gotta give them big old massive titties with nipples.
Gotta
show it off.
They give her like a little, when
Give
like,
the
a woman's,
Madonna
like,
bra.
toned, but not too toned. I don't want a buff gal. I just want like
A little tone tummy.
and a little belly button, little belly button.
little
to stick your dick in.
yeah.
They said, I'm gonna create an armor so girl.
But it was not the like the Warcraft battle bikini. So
Yeah,
at
yeah.
least there's that. I don't know. Like pick your poison, I suppose.
I'd rather that.
You'd rather the battle bikini, the red Sonya.
Yeah, because at least we'd be like, that's a little sexist, whatever. This was like insane.
Incredibly distracting.
I was so distracted. They're so pointy.
I can ignore a woman like having a normal body. I can't ignore the fact that the armor is inventing details on this
Yeah.
woman for us to ogle at.
And then they were joined by a dwarf that did nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
Yeah, no, he was just the guy from Pirates of the Caribbean again.
He just existed.
And he's just sort of there being a boring version of a dwarf, honestly. The actor's doing his best.
He wakes up in a trash pile.
Don't die.
Oh no, he's got Wolverine claws.
Ooh, hell yeah. This feels very Dungeons and Dragons-y. It feels improv in a fun way.
And this feels Star Warsy.
Yeah, very Star Warsy. Immensely Star Warsy. Does the one thing he ever does in the movie, which is just smack Darth Vader with his axe once. And then he's like, well, I guess I'm part of your crew now.
Yeah, and I honestly, they kept having me like, what about my money? I'm gonna pay money. And then everyone's like, sure, I guess.
Fucking knife here.
And I would have preferred if he was just like, I don't know what's fucking happening, but here we go.
I'm just here, man.
Yeah.
That would also be player behavior.
I don't know what's going on. Who do
I have no
know?
idea what's happening, but I'm here, so may as well go along with it.
It really did feel like D&D, where the plot kept finding them, and we knew less and less about what was actually happening.
Yeah, like jumping ahead, we cut to like the climax of the movie, and just all of a sudden, dragons are bombarding the city.
Yeah.
Just out of fucking nowhere. Because like the main crux of the plot is there are, I guess, these two rods. One controls gold dragons, the other one controls red dragons. Jeremy Irons wants the one that controls red dragons, and the Empress has the one that controls gold dragons. I guess she's like, and she has these like progressive ideas where, you know, everybody should be equal. But the Beard Council's like, no! She's not listening to men!
Whether a commoner or a mage deserves an equal right for prosperity.
All right, sit down,
And as
AOC.
Empress-
Such pretty words.
For a communist!
Friends, I warned you.
I am not afraid.
Oh, they don't agree.
And she's gone. All right. The beard.
Sorry, we didn't know the vibe.
Harumph, harumph, harumph. And Jeremy
Equal
Irons.
rights?
Oh, what a novel concept. Did a poor come up with that? And Jeremy Irons like, can't have that shit. I want this rod that controls red dragons.
Something about his destiny, it didn't really make any sense.
Yeah, neither did most of the dialogue until I turned on subtitles. This was the first movie, by the way, in my life that I've had to turn on subtitles that the audio mixing was so bad in some of these scenes.
Yeah, like we have a soundbar. It's not like going through a TV.
No.
Yeah. It was mainly just Jeremy Irons.
And I don't know if that was a problem with the original film or if that's a problem with however like the mixing was done for the digital stuff.
Like if it just got like if the Dolby digital release got compressed in such a weird way.
Like we can't blame the people who released the film because I haven't heard that this is a complaint about the film.
No, because I watched it when I was young.
Yeah.
Like back when it first came out.
And it feels like that wasn't an issue in the older release.
Or
So
maybe
this
my
might
ears
be-
maybe my ears were just better. I'm getting old.
We're all
This
old
was
now.
this was 25 years ago this movie came out.
Yeah.
Quarter of a century. Such a bizarre little movie, and again, much with like a lot of these movies that we've watched, the set direction, the costume design, titty armor aside, kind of on point. Like there were a lot of fun sets. You could see the budget in some of them. The weird little like Legends of the Hidden Temple maze he had to go through to get the ruby was a little Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Yeah.
But
I like the sets and the effects makeup stuff. For creatures and stuff. I didn't like the costuming. I thought the costuming was mostly bad.
I thought it was over the top in a way that I'm like, you know what? The rest of this movie is cheesy. I can deal. Like what the heck was his name? Dothamar or whatever the hell. Darth Vader.
Dangamar.
Dankamir.
Damagar.
His weird little Power Rangers villain suit. I kind of like that. Kudos to the makeup team for keeping track, by the way, because he gets infected with brain worms, and as the movie goes on, the makeup like around his like temple and ears gets worse and worse. That's kudos. That's
I mean, you know, I that is what really just going through a script and saying, okay, this scene is this makeup, this scene is this makeup. But you know,
they
could have
put in
not,
the effort to it. They could have just done the one and like that.
Yeah, like they did still try. Yeah. And
they
and
made
like,
it
you
look
could
worse
feel-
and worse as he went on.
You could feel people in the production caring.
And they actually gave him motivation.
I have served her family loyally for many a year.
Unfortunately, I have brain worms now, so I had to change parties.
But I'm going to be made the new national health advisor to the Emperor.
Brain worms for everyone.
I'm going to have a strong anti-potion platform.
Anti-health potion. They cause autism.
I do not obtain rot. I will die.
The worms will eat mine.
I don't care.
Have you seen Ratatouille? It's like that, but it hurts so fucking bad.
It's like that, but it's inside me.
Just in time for him to die.
The plot of Baldur's Gate 3.
Technically, yes.
Yeah,
A little bit, yeah.
Oh yeah, and I liked that they because like you could just have an evil guy be like, henchman, go do my work, and that would just be the motivation. But I do like that he had actual motivation because he's like, my head fucking hurts. This hurts so bad. I need to do this.
This thing is killing me.
Yeah.
But also, I can make them come out my ear and
steal your information, which he only uses once.
Only once.
Also, yeah, that mage girl. She does magic in like 2 scenes and then cries in the rest of them.
Yes.
It's so like, and it's one of these we're watching these older films, right? Where it's just like we see a female character who's clearly set up to be capable, and then the movie's like, well, she's the girl, so she has to get kidnapped. And it's like, guys, what the fuck?
it's like, all of
I'm glad we're in a place in society where that's really odd to us now.
Yeah.
I'm like, look, if you're gonna kidnap, like, it makes sense to kidnap the mage without magic items on her. It's like,
yeah, but she just never does magic, and
No.
then also when she's being kidnapped, she's like,
in every other scene, and the romance is so forced.
It's nothing.
It was so weird.
It's nothing.
So bad. Like the scene that they kissed.
This is
just like so unearned.
It's the stuff where I'm like, whenever people are like, I hate watching straight people romances in movies, I'm like, I understand, because a lot of them are this.
You're not for a mage.
Are you gonna kiss?
It seems
Don't.
seems like the wrong time.
You know,
Don't.
I'm just emotionally vulnerable
I'm
right
really
now.
attracted
Okay.
to smart women.
Fuck, I hate straight people. This is your culture.
We're just,
Yeah, it
you're
was-
boy, I'm girl, we're
You're
both
boy,
white.
I'm boy. Yeah,
We gotta kiss.
We gotta, like, look, we're entering the 3rd act. Let's do this. This happening? It's happening.
Is
Are
this
we
happening?
smooching?
Come on, you
I
like
think we are.
Applebee's.
Oh man, I'm just really sad my friend died. I guess we have to smooch.
Yeah, I'm really broken up about the fact that my friend died, and I kind of feel like it's your fault, but you know what? You're pretty. So let's do this.
And they had 20 minutes of off-screen inside the map arguing.
Yes, that was
So-
the
That
best
feels
part.
like a sequence that must have been cut from the movie because it was too expensive.
It was
Yeah,
one
yeah.
of the best parts when they got shunted from reality to have an argument with a ghost in a book that we
Honestly,
never see.
Yeah, them
yeah.
not being in the movie was making it better.
I was thrilled because then
It was
the
just-
side character was the main character for a bit,
it was
and
just
that ruled.
It was just snails and the dwarf just having a conversation about women.
Yeah,
and
that was awesome.
I legitimately, until they brought out the map again, I was like, forgetting that they were part of the movie. And I was like, happier in that world.
Yeah, as soon as they went in the map, I was like, burn it! Get rid of it!
Because, yeah, she was also, like, being racist and classist.
Yeah, she had a full...
Why don't you try and rise above being a dwarf? This
Whoa!
isn't...
Whoa!
Excuse
Whoa.
Who cares about the Empire? You mages are the only
That's just a full-on macro aggression.
Your new
An
empire.
interesting sentiment coming from a guy who steals things for a living.
Whoa! Whoa! Classist.
honor amongst thieves.
That is just the sort of half-baked, illiterate drivel that proves commoners really are.
I hate this lady. This lady sucks.
Well, she's joining the group, so...
Yeah, but she's white and pretty, so...
So you're coming with us.
We need one of those.
We need one.
You're just a commoner. I guess it's true what they say about commoners. You didn't go to magic school. Magic school. At least when the dwarf was being shitty about elves, that kind of makes sense in lore.
And I know this is like a D&D thing where it's like everybody's super fucking racist for some reason. But like it just feels real bad. Like coming from the rich girl. He's
because we just met
fucking
her.
Dwarf.
Yeah, we just met her. If you want me to like her at all, like I was just immediately turned off because it was so heavy. Like,
And I get that they were going for like she has an arc where she's like elitist and then decides not to be elitist. Now I would
I'm
say
not racist
like has her mind changed, but nothing in the movie really happens to like except for common people being nice to her, I guess, which is always a very weak motivation for I'm now good.
Wow, I guess you're not so bad after all because you complimented
me. I now have the
me.
good politics.
Centrist liberals. It's like a real mishmash of fuckery in this. Again, this movie has flavors of Dungeons and Dragons. You see a beholder. You see plenty of dragons. There is magic. There's an imp that's masturbating in the corner. It's
Wow, they're just like going for it.
But yeah, the connection to lore is very odd because why the fuck is a beholder working with anybody?
Why is it working with anybody? Why are dragons working? Like, why is there an item that can enslave all dragons?
An army.
Immensely intelligent creatures.
From long distances where you can basically summon them to you in a matter of minutes. And yeah, not one dragon. An entire army of every dragon of this color.
Yeah.
And they didn't even go into what the colors of the dragons mean, which whatever.
Whatever. That's beyond this movie.
The dragons can't talk.
At the very least, they correlated that the gold dragons were on the good guy's side and the red dragons were on the bad guy's side.
There was that, I guess.
That's it. That's as far as you go with dragon lore. And so if you care about Dungeons and Dragons lore at all, that'll stick a prickle in your prick. Like just
whatever that means.
It means exactly what it says as graphically as possible. Just
how could I be more clear?
And yeah, the child emperor dresses up like Joan of Arc and goes to war at the end
rides
against her own city.
Which is so bizarre. That entire third act is just fucking insane.
We just don't know what's happening.
First we see her just kind of commanding these dragons against her own city.
I love Game of Thrones.
Yeah, she's literally just trying to burn Jeremy Irons to ashes because they're having a political squabble. Granted, she is on the correct side of history. That's also because she wins. But Jeremy Irons is just trying to protect the tower that he's in, and then he finally gets the evil dragon rod and is able to kind of even the score.
He's like,
oh, yeah, I love my rod.
Yeah, Act 3 is the culmination of all of us fucking around during the whole campaign, and the DM's like, I was telling you this was gonna happen the whole time. I'm sorry, guys.
The Dragon War's on. I don't know why you weren't paying attention.
Yeah, it needs to happen right now. I'm sorry.
And our main characters teleport all the time too, and not just when they walk through a portal. Just our main party shows up to fight Jeremy Irons at the end.
Yeah, they're just sort of there. They just sort of
and do nothing.
Yeah.
They get he pulls out his bigger rod and just kind of swipes them all away, does little floof.
He's thrown it away by then.
Yeah.
He beats the guy with the bigger rod for a moment and then throws it away.
He gets this big ass
that was
scepter,
funny, yeah.
And he's just like, whip, 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 and I'm done.
I have the insta-win rod. Don't need this.
Show that clip. That was very funny.
Bizarre.
By the way, I'm level 15. What are you? I'm a CR20, bitch.
Hit him with a dick.
Oh, I'm gonna smack you with that.
Why would you flex? A little chat, but now it's your time to die.
And yeah, the ending's just fucking all over the place. The dragons look like little cartoon guys going, hey kids.
And Snails just dies.
Yeah, he just dies kind of and you know what? Marlon Wayans is trying to sell it.
He is.
He's really trying to sell it.
Everyone's acting as hard as they can in that
Oh,
scene.
yeah.
Except for the Empress.
Yes.
Bless her heart. No.
But the guy playing Justin Whalen playing Ridley, his scream was so impassioned that we were fucking laughing while a character that we actually did kind of like died.
Snails out!
Wow! Oh my god, Snails! Oh, okay, he's really gonna die. He's really gonna die. Oh my god!
Which I get it. He is the likable, goofy sidekick. You're supposed to like him. You don't want him to die.
But you also need to fill the cast with other characters to like. Otherwise, you're just getting rid of the one character people might like.
Yeah, they sent them into that the dude's stronghold.
they had to have there must have been a reshoot somewhere because the dwarf.
I think there are a few.
For sure. The dwarf and the elf booby lady were talking on the sides like, shouldn't we go help them? No, they must do this alone.
Why? Why?
I get it. They're thieves. But
and I get the dwarf also just being like, I don't fucking care. I don't really know these people.
I wish you had a beard.
And of course, when you go to the ending, like it's like, oh, the day is saved. The Empress being like, everybody is equal now over a cemetery.
Yeah, they're there.
And it just leads me to be like, yes, death is the true equalizer.
Everybody died in the Dragon War, so you're all equal now under the earth.
And yeah, because we never see the actual kingdom prospering. We just see a cemetery.
We don't get to see their celebration of the overthrow of the empire moment. We don't get that it's just like her speaking over a shot of a graveyard.
Saying everyone's equal now. And it is such a the Kuleshov effect is in full effect in that moment.
Yeah.
And then
he's like, Snails, everyone died.
And our main character is dressed as Squall from Final Fantasy VIII, which I think also came out around that time. So
yeah,
whatever.
Maybe a year or two earlier.
Maybe he was hoping to get cast in Spirits Within.
And then there's a rock glows and he's like, yes.
Snails is out there somewhere.
Snails is out there somewhere, and and then they all just sort of turn to little balls and fly away.
They were like, sequel bait.
Yes.
Yeah, we're getting a sequel, baby.
We have to, otherwise this would be really weird and awkward.
So weird.
Shush.
Do not question your gift.
What?
Your friend awaits you.
How do you? What do you mean?
I guess it is kind of traditional D&D to go on a quest to resurrect a friend who died in the campaign.
Yeah. I mean, normally you need a cleric for that, but
they give their life for Snails.
What the fuck is actually happening now?
We're gonna meet him in heaven. Let's all die.
Yeah.
Just like the Empress wanted.
Is the movie ending? What the shit? What is that? What just happened? Courtney, what the fuck?
If we're going to watch the movies, I think we're going to watch. This is not the only movie that's going to have a strong sequel hook that will go nowhere.
Yeah. No, so many movies were just so ambitious, especially in that 90s, early 2000s era where it's like, this is getting a sequel. We got a franchise, baby.
People are just throwing money at movies.
Now it's cinematic universe.
And also,
you can't just have a sequel. You don't bank on a sequel. You bank on a universe.
Yeah, and but everyone always forgets because that started really with Star Wars. Right? But everyone forgets, the first Star Wars did not have a sequel hook. It fucking ended.
Yeah.
Empire had a sequel hook because they knew they were making a third one.
Yes.
You shouldn't make a sequel hook not knowing you're getting a sequel.
And this movie's other inspiration, Indiana Jones, all of those movies had an ending.
Yeah,
that's the one.
That's what they should have stolen from Star Wars, is ending the movie
a
with
real
an
ending. Where the movie ends.
Yeah. No, canonically, they all died.
Yeah,
they all killed themselves.
No, canonically, all of the players got up and then they could never schedule their next game.
Yeah,
that's what happened.
It's like, we're gonna go and rescue we're gonna resurrect our friend who died during the campaign. That's a classic D&D campaign thing. But yeah, it just didn't happen.
Yeah.
Well, I think the implication was he came back to life because of their wish on the Dragon Ruby.
Oh, I guess.
Because his name got erased from the headstone of that cairn. So.
Yeah. She's like, he's out there.
He's
and that's also strange. He's like, he didn't really make a wish. He just said, I miss you.
Yeah.
I believe he misses his friend.
Throughout the whole movie, the main character is he's also the chosen one. All these magic items just sort of interact with him in a way that they shouldn't.
Oh yeah, I didn't even pick up on it because it was just so fucking lame.
It is.
Yeah, no, I get that now.
He was the only one allowed into the cave with the dragon scepter.
Right.
So clearly they were trying to build mythos around him.
If I was in that D&D campaign, I'd be pissed.
Yeah.
I'd be like, why are you favoring this one player over all of us? If I'm the dwarf, I'm not even
The dwarf was barely there. He was
he's
texting in the corner waiting to roll his attack time.
I will say, look, I think good DMing and good storytelling are very intertwined in the ending. This is bad at both in that
each character should feel important in their own way.
Important in their own way, and it's in some way the stakes, I believe, should always feel a little personal.
Yeah.
Even if it's about a big thing, even with not to toot my own fucking horn. This is the only experience I have.
Tales Unwritten.
Tales Unwritten.
YouTube buzz.
I tried to get you guys personally invested in the broader world, and then we start expanding because it only matters if you guys have a reason to care.
Right, yeah.
And that's also how good storytelling works in general. And everyone seems to forget that when they're like, we're gonna make a big adventure. It's like, start small. You start with Luke. He's looking at 2 sons. He's like, oh, fuck, life sucks here. Oh no, my uncle and aunt are dead. I gotta go to space.
Time to radicalize.
Yeah.
It's not just, all right,
let's go rob the magic school.
Magic school.
And now we're getting kidnapped by this girl that will never do anything but cry.
Who I didn't understand was the same girl.
That's just you. That's just you.
No, it was me too. I thought she was the Empress.
Yeah, you thought she was the Empress. Jesse didn't make that mistake. Jesse thought it was a different woman by the glasses coming.
At least I didn't think it was a 12-year-old girl. I thought it was just a different woman.
You're both face blind.
They were both brunettes, to my defense. Both mousy brunettes.
I can't tell all these broads apart.
I know these broads. Yeah. You know what they all need?
Booby
armor. They need a boob armor. That'll get my attention.
They need big fucking eyelashes.
I'm out of things to say.
I kind of am too. I don't know what else to go into.
You know what? Maybe we're misunderstanding the dwarf character because maybe that player wasn't super in it. Like he was roped in by his friends and that's why he's texting. He's like, I don't want to be in this battle. Make it so that I don't have to engage in this battle.
Look, I gotta take a phone call. I need to go pick up the pizzas.
Somebody's
got field the delivery guy.
He's in someone's DMs right now, actually, and he's busy. So, like DMs, like sexual DMs, not
yes, those sexual DMs.
Mm-hmm. The sexual
for
DM.
only sex.
Like the Thieves Guild master, whatever his deal was.
Yeah, the only person I think trying to out.
Jeremy Irons.
Yeah, out-eat
the
scenery.
He ruled. I like him.
He was devouring the scenery.
I didn't like that he sexually assaulted.
Oh, that was weird. I forgot about that.
I also want to note the girl who was just sort of nibbling on Rick's
skin. She was all okay. MVP, third favorite character.
doing her damnedest not to look at the camera.
Yeah.
I think the dwarf is the only one who realizes he's in the game. Like he did break the fourth wall. Like
yeah, that's not a good way to do business.
That was the actual guy being like, this is stupid. Like in real life being like, why would he?
I have no reason to participate in this campaign. The DM hasn't put any effort into it.
They found me in a trash pile that the girl ran straight into.
I'm sorry, Craig. Maybe if you fucking took this more seriously, I'd write your character motivation.
I'm Craig the Trash Dwarf. What do you want from me?
You eat trash.
Was he literally a hobo?
He was in a trash pile.
I think so.
He's literally a murder hobo.
It's either that or he was just like, maybe the implication is he was just really drunk and thrown out onto the streets.
They should have just had him want to murder people constantly. That would have been a good bit.
I legitimately wonder how many of the people in the production of this actually played Dungeons and Dragons or had like any real history with it.
Courtney, have you played Dungeons and Dragons?
Did you play it, Courtney?
Courtney,
have you played
Courtney Solomon? We're talking to you.
Talking to you directly, actually. If you like Google your own movies every now and again, like did you?
Are you Googling it now in 2025?
Why are you assuming he's French?
He is French. He has to be. His name's Courtney.
That's just a name.
Are you French?
I had grown up in the film business in Toronto, and I was going to go to film school. But I learned it doesn't matter if you went to film school, because really you need to know somebody to get into the business, and the best experience you're going to have is just practically doing it and getting jobs.
Cut to a quick POV.
So I thought to myself, I need to make my own movie.
Are you
Courtney,
French?
Are you French?
Are you responsible for Emilia Perez?
Parlez-vous français?
We're done. We're clearly done.
Watch the newer Dungeons and Dragons movie. That one rules.
Yeah, bienvenue.
Our energy for these is getting more and more not acceptable.
This is chaotic.
Uncool, actually. I decided.
The French?
Yes.
I didn't hate this movie.
I didn't either.
Wow, what a silly movie. You weren't there, Quinn!
I remember the movie, though!
Fair enough. If you're interested in our doing Dungeons and the Dragons, Tales Unwritten. Have you checked out the YouTube channel? New episodes are going up, as well as director's cuts that you've been working your ass off on, Stefan.
Yes, on the Tales Unwritten YouTube channel, there's now a channel specifically for that show. We have new improved versions of Season 1, Book 1 is what we're calling it. And very soon, Book 2 will also be going up every single week for specifically 5 weeks.
It's called the Master Something Collection or something.
Masterwork Edition. I'm the only one that pays attention to what Stefan does.
I don't know what a masterclass work or whatever it is. It's a D&D term.
It's called the Masterwork Edition. It's a D&D thing. You get it.
Tune in and check it out. Bye.